Hello and welcome to Unwind Sessions, where right after my shift I give the highlights of my workday and answer any questions that might have been asked on the previous session. My name is Juan. I am an English, Spanish medical video remote interpreter with over 4 years of experience. Today is Monday, April 19, 2021. Today I took a total of 31 calls. The sessions were not they were not hard today. It was pretty straightforward sessions, pretty easy, um, pretty nice doctors, pretty nice patients. No one, uh, not very many problems today. Everything went nice. There were some vaccinations today, for the disease that's going on. So that was very good. Uh, since there was not that many things that happened today, and I'm just gonna let you know some words that I actually didn't know that are new, and some that I actually knew before, but I had to look up because I don't remember them. For example, the first word that I'm going to talk about is turmeric, which the Spanish translation is curcuma. And I have heard this before, but for some reason, this is one of those words that just doesn't stick. It's probably because I'm not used to it. I don't use this spice. I don't use it. I don't use it in my vocabulary. I don't use the spice, so that's probably why it just doesn't stick. It's not like something that I use every day. But in case you don't know what turmeric or curcuma is, I'm going to give you the definition that I found online, which is turmeric is a spice that comes from the turmeric plant. It is commonly used in Asian food. You probably know turmeric as the main spice in curry. So you have probably tried this spice. I know that I probably tried it as well because I like Asian food, but I don't know if I've ever had it. I couldn't tell, but probably I have. So since I don't use it every day, this is one of those words that just doesn't stick, and I have to look it up very quick. And I did look it up today, and I looked it up, and when I actually looked it up, I was missing an R. So, because I guess it's silent, turmeric, but it has an R, Turmeric. But it still gave me the right definition, even though I was missing that R. So, yeah, just to let you know, there's gonna be some words that you are just not going to be able to remember for the life of you, and that's okay. Uh, you can always ask the provider what else you can use, or sometimes if you're working video or if you're over the phone, you know that you always have the option to look it up very quick before you give your interpretation. And a new word for me today, a new condition, I should say. It's decurvain's tenosynovitis. And this is a painful condition affecting the tendons on the thumb side of the wrist. And this was a session with the lady that actually had pain on the side of her wrist, and she was suffering very much from this. And they said this. Well, the provider said this, and I had to let him know that I didn't know what this word meant, what this condition was. And he was nice enough to just give me the definition, and I was able to give the definition, and I just looked it up afterwards. In Spanish, it is just the same, Tenosinovitis de Kervain. So that was pretty easy. This is something new. Not I had never come across this this diagnosis before, or this condition. And but I mean, just with the definition, I was able to get through with the session. I actually had to look it up afterwards for the video right now. And what was uh, another condition that I actually had to look up today was Dandy Walker Malformation. In Spanish, that is Malformación de Dandy Walker. And although Dandy Walker sounds like something very nice, or something very cheerful or something very fancy, it's actually a very bad thing. And a little boy, a newborn actually, they actually ruled out this condition on a little boy. He had like a little space in the brain, like 1.2 millimeters or something. No, 1.2. Well, it wasn't stated if it was millimeters or centimeters. It was just at 1.2. Um, but they ruled out that it was the Andy Walker malformation, and I'm glad because let me give you the definition of the Andy Walker malformation. The Andy Walker malformation affects brain development, primarily development of the cerebellum, which is the part of the brain that coordinates movement in individuals with this condition. Various parts of the cerebellum develop abnormally, resulting in malformations that can be observed with medical imaging. So they actually did a CT to rule out this condition, and the lady was very happy, and I also felt good. I felt good for the little boy that he didn't have this. So it was a pretty happy session, and they told her that the little space that the boy had in his brain was nothing, and if it they didn't expect for it to cause any problems in the future, but if it ever did, they asked her to come back, and that was it for that section. Sorry. And another word that a new word that I came across today was actually frenulum. This is a frenillo, and I honestly, this is the first time that I've ever heard this word, and this actually surprises me because this is like, let me define it for you, and then I'll let you know why I am so surprised that I've never heard this before. So the frenulum is a small ridge or fold of skin that helps to anchor a semi-mobile part in the human body. Frenulums can be found on the penis, under the tongue, inside of the lips, as part of the female genitalia, and internally in the brain and the digestive tract. So it's something like so common, but that word frenulum was never in any of my vocabulary lists for training or anything, and I had never heard that before. And it just surprises you. Sometimes you will be surprised because, I mean, you would have thought it would have come up in a session or something because it's just so common, right? Like it's the little piece of skin that is under the tongue, on the lips, on the penis, and all the definition mentioned. So I was actually pretty surprised that I didn't know what this was, but I know now, and trust me, this is not one that I will forget. Frenulum frenillo. And that was pretty much it for me today. Today, like I stated, it was not a hard day. It was a little tough for me mentally though, because for some reason I didn't sleep right last night, and that really affected my memory. I could really tell because long utterances, I did have to ask for a couple of repetitions for long utterances. So, adding to memory retention from the last couple of unwind sessions, I would say that this is something that I didn't mention, but a good night's sleep, or I probably did, I don't remember, but a good night's sleep is going to really help you in that sense, in actually aiding your memory retention. As many of you probably know, if you don't sleep well one night, you're probably gonna do poorly the next day. And that's what happened to me. I mean, it wasn't very bad, and I wasn't falling asleep in the. I was in the almost falling asleep in the sessions, but I did not feel 100%, and that carried over to my sessions where I had to uh, ask the provider to repeat a couple of lists and some long utterances, but nothing really major. So yeah, that is one tip that I can give you today. And you probably already knew this, and this is probably common sense, but man, nothing beats a good night's sleep for a good interpreting session. So that will be pretty much it for me today. Like I told you, it was pretty easy. So please leave your questions and comments, and I will answer some of them on the next session, which will be tomorrow. So that will be pretty much it. Like I stated, I will be here every Monday to Friday after work. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you liked the video and have not done so for more content. And don't forget to share. Happy interpreting. Goodbye.